What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Certified Genius Podcast, presented to you by Genius Minds, straight out of the Genius Minds studios in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. I'm your humble servant. I'm Coach G. I am your certified genius. Ask me any questions, I will tell you no lie. And if I don't have an answer, I'll refer you to someone who does. So welcome once again. This is the Certified Genius Podcast. And remember, there's a genius in all of us. So find the genius within you. Y'all ready for this? Let's go. Yeah. So happy to be back. Last week, I was in the Midwest where it was snowing. I was in Michigan. I was in Chicago. The Windy City. A lot of snow. So I am extremely happy to be back in beautiful Southern California in this beautiful weather. Man, I'm an island man. I don't do well in the snow. But I was out there for a good cause. I was honored to be part of a high school basketball team. The head coach wanted me to come out there and have a week of practice with his team, with his freshman basketball team at Hudsonville High School in Michigan. And it was an honor to go out there, despite the snow. It was an honor to go out there and work with those kids right before their first game of the season, which was on Tuesday. So we got 5 good practices in. And guess what? They won their first game by 19 points. So it was a blessing to be a little part of their journey as, freshman, basketball team, and just be able to share my expertise as a basketball coach, share my knowledge. These are 9th graders, so they're fresh into high school. So it was important for me to, share my, like I said, my expertise, give a little advice as how to navigate, the next 4 years of their life in high school. So it was a blessing. Working with them and showing them, the ins and out of, how to win a basketball game at the freshman level. So yes, Michigan was fun. And like I say, the team, they won their first game on Tuesday. They won by 19 points. So it was a blessing to be a part, just a little part of their season. And I was honored that, the head coach out there, think highly of me to bring me in, to help him, get his team prepared and ready physically and mentally for their upcoming season. And while I was there, I went to the Michigan versus Ohio State game. And it was a beautiful thing, even though it was snowing. I was bundled up, had a great time, and Ohio State won that game. I think we left maybe like 5 minutes left in the game. We got out of there. Ohio State is just on another level. So big ups to them, and big ups to all the people that I met while I was in Michigan, all the coaches there, all the kids, the players. Big up. It was fun. But I am happy to be back in beautiful, sunny Southern California. So welcome once again to the Certified Genius Podcast, straight out of the Genius Minds studios in Los Angeles, California. Here we go. This is where we recap week 13. We've been doing week by week. We just got done with week 13 of the 2025 NFL season. We are rolling along. The season is almost done. Just a few more games left. We are rolling along. As you know, we always start with my Niners, my San Francisco 49ers. We went in Cleveland. A hostile environment against a really good defense. We went in Cleveland, and my Niners came out victorious, 26-8 over the Cleveland Browns. Brock Purdy played a really good game. I was really happy with my offensive line. I think Myles Garrett, he only had 1 sack and not a lot of pressures against Purdy. So I was really happy with my offensive line. No interceptions, no turnovers from Purdy, which was a good thing. So yeah, my Niners are 9-4 after going to Cleveland and beating the Cleveland Browns 26-8. We are rolling along. Now, I know I've been saying, all these weeks I've been saying, I still think my Niners are pretenders. Even though we have a 9-4 record, I still think we are pretenders to win a Super Bowl this year. But that's liable to change based on what happened in the next few weeks. Our defense is playing better, which is a good thing. And we seem to be getting healthy at the right time. Even though we are without Nick Bosa and Fred Warner for the rest of the season, but the rest of the players seem to be really understanding the scheme on both offense, but especially defense. Because we have a very young defense. And it seems to me, just based on the last 2 games, that our defense, the young players are starting to get the scheme, the defensive scheme that Robert Saleh is trying to implement. So our defense has looked really good the past couple weeks. And then this week, we have a bye week. So my Niners don't play in week 14. We have a very late in the season bye week. So there you have it. My San Francisco 49ers are 9-4. Let's move along. We have the New England Patriots beating the New York Giants 33-15. Drake May, he's in the MVP conversation. Drake May, the quarterback for the New England Patriots, has his team on a roll. They are 11-2. They are 11-2. Drake May and the New England Patriots are rocking and rolling. and he should be the MVP. And this is only his second year in the league, second year in the NFL. But as a leader, as someone that knows how to win, he's definitely my MVP so far in the season. Patriots are 11-2. Then we have the Denver Broncos going to Washington and beating the Washington Commanders 27-26. The Denver Broncos, Bo Nix, has the Broncos at 10-2 after they beat the Commanders 27-26. The Commanders had a chance to win that game, the last play of the game, and Marcus Mariota couldn't deliver the pass to a wide open receiver. What a way to lose. A wide open receiver. Marcus Mariota couldn't get that ball to the receiver to win the game. The ball got tipped or deflected. So the Broncos squeak out that win in overtime, 27-26. Then we have the Buffalo Bills going to Pittsburgh and beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 26-7. The Buffalo Bills are 8-4. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but something ain't right. I think it's time for a new coach in Pittsburgh. And then Aaron Rodgers, he couldn't deliver once again. I don't know if it's his age or if it's the offense or the schemes, the play calling. I don't know what it is, but Aaron Rodgers can deliver. The Buffalo Bills are 8-4 after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. What happened to Pittsburgh's defense? It's non-existent. It's unbelievable. The Bills won that game 26-7. Then we have the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Raiders 31-14. The Chargers are 8-4 after beating the Raiders. The Raiders are just not competitive. And they just fired their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Chargers are 8-4 after beating the Raiders 31-14. And then we have the Seattle Seahawks at home. Their defense is legit. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 26-0. The Seahawks are contenders, in my humble opinion, to win a Super Bowl this year. After beating the Minnesota Vikings 26-0. That defense is legit. And my Niners play them in a few weeks at the end of the season. Looking forward to that game. 26-0. The Seattle Seahawks are 9-3. They are rocking and rolling. Then we have the New York Jets beating the Atlanta Falcons 27-24. I don't know what's going on with the Falcons. I had high hopes for them this year. The New York Jets beat the Falcons 27-24. Then we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Tennessee and beating the Tennessee Titans 25-3. 25-3. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 8-4 after beating the Titans 25-3. Then we go to Miami. The Miami Dolphins beat the New Orleans Saints 21-17. The Miami Dolphins 21-17 win over the New Orleans Saints. And then a game that I watched, the Houston Texans going in Indy and beating the Indianapolis Colts 20-16. The Houston Texans, their defense is legit. To go in Indy and pretty much shut down Jonathan Taylor, a Pro Bowl running back, their defense is legit. The Houston Texans are coming. They're 7-5 after beating the Indianapolis Colts 20-16. Then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Arizona Cardinals 20-17. I was really surprised Baker Mayfield was on the field. I thought he was injured after hurting his arm last week. But he finds a way to win. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Cardinals 20-17. And then a game that I didn't see coming, the Carolina Panthers beat the Los Angeles Rams 31-28. I did not see that coming. And that goes back to my point. It's so hard to win on the road. The Los Angeles Rams flying across country from LA to Carolina and lose that game 31-28. Something's going on in Carolina. They're on the up and up. They are on the up and up after beating the Rams 31-28. Then we have the Chicago Bears going to Philly. Going to Philly, the defending Super Bowl champions, and beating the Philadelphia Eagles 24-15. The Chicago Bears are 9-3. Unbelievable. And all they did was got a new coach. And that's why I have as a coach, as a basketball coach, I have so much respect for the coaching profession. The Chicago Bears was a hot mess. But when you bring in the right coach, you get the right results. That is not an easy game to go in Philly. Philly is one of the most hostile environments in sports, in any sport. And Chicago went in there with a head coach, Ben Johnson, drawing up the plays. Caleb Williams executing the plays. And they beat the Philadelphia Eagles 24-15. And something is definitely not right in Philly. There seems to be a lot of bickering going on. And now it's affecting them on the field. But I've been very impressed with the Chicago Bears this year. They are 9-3 after beating the Eagles 24-15. Coaching matters. Good coaching matters. Ben Johnson, you're a hell of a coach. Give you a lot of props. one of the things I've always said, some coaches are better suited being coordinators, whether you're an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. Being a head coach, you just have so much stuff to deal with, and it's not everybody's built for that. That's why I always say some coaches should just stick to being a coordinator. Ben Johnson, he was an offensive coordinator, just calling the plays, just sitting in the booth, calling the plays. So now to make that transition to become a head coach, where you're not just calling the plays now, you're overseeing the entire team. And Ben Johnson, that transition from coordinator to head coach, I give you a lot of props. I give you a lot of props. Chicago Bears, you are in good hands. You are in good hands with Ben Johnson as your head coach. The Chicago Bears are 9-3. Unbelievable. What difference a coaching make. Then we move on. Another game I didn't see coming. The Cincinnati Bengals going to Baltimore and beating the Ravens soundly. 32-14. Lamar Jackson, come on. You're fighting. You got off to a slow start this season. You're fighting to get back in playoff contention. And this is why I can't take Baltimore seriously. I just can't take that team seriously. To have Cincinnati come in your house in Baltimore and put it on you. That's just absurd. I can't take you seriously, Baltimore. Cincinnati Bengals won that game soundly, 32-14. Another thrilling game that I watched, and based on what I've heard, is the most watched football game ever on Thanksgiving Day. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. A very entertaining game. Dallas Cowboys beating the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. And they are really close to possibly getting in the playoff picture. Even though I don't think they will, but they're making a run for it. Kansas City, on the other hand, man, you might be on the outside looking in. It's not a good thing. I can't remember the last time the Chiefs wasn't in the playoffs. It's been a long time. When you have Andy Reid as your head coach, who's a brilliant mind, who's a genius, in my humble opinion, Andy Reid, and then you have another superstar genius in Patrick Mahomes. They've been in the playoffs or the AFC Championship game in almost every year they've been there. I want to say 7 or 8 straight years. But Kansas City, I don't know what's going on this year. You are almost borderline out of contention to even make it to the playoffs. I did not see that coming when the season started. And then last but not least, the Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions 31-24. In Detroit, the Green Bay Packers went in there, beat the Lions 31-24. Green Bay with Jordan Love and his receiving crew, very efficient in that game. Detroit, I don't know what's going on, but something ain't right. Something ain't right in Detroit. So there you have it. A recap of Week 13 of the 2025 NFL football season. We are rolling along. This season is almost done. What am I going to do with myself after the season is done? We'll figure that out when we get there. So yes, another week, another episode of the Certified Genius Podcast, presented to you by Genius Minds, straight out of the Genius Minds studios in Los Angeles, California. I am your certified genius, your humble servant, Coach G. And remember, there's a genius in all of us. Every single one of us have genius level talent within us. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, pink or purple. Doesn't matter if you're fat or slim. Every single one of us have genius level talent within us. All right? Yeah. Let's move along. So we did our recap of Week 13. Now we're going to make our predictions for Week 14 in a segment we call Who You Got? Y'all ready for this? This is the Who You Got segment. All right. On Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. I hope each and everyone watching this has Amazon Prime. You do not want to miss this game. This is a big game on Thursday night. We got the Dallas Cowboys going to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. This game has playoff implications written all over it. Both teams need a win to continue on their path to the playoffs or to potentially make it to the playoffs. Both teams need this game. This is going to be a hard-fought game. So who you got? I'm going to take the home team to win this game. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to wake up, shake it off, and be the conquering lion on Thursday Night Football. I got the Lions. Who you got? Yeah. We move on. We have the Cincinnati Bengals going to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. Once again, I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win that game. Who you got? Then we have the Indianapolis Colts going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go with the road team on this one. I'm going to go with the Colts to win this game. I'm not saying it with my chest, but I'm going to take the Colts to win that game on the road in Jacksonville. I got the Colts. Who you got? Then we have the Washington Commanders going to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota just got embarrassed by Seattle, in Seattle in week 13. They got shut out. So with that being said, I'm taking the Washington Commanders to win that game. I'm taking the Commanders to win that game. Who you got? Then we have the Miami Dolphins going to New York to take on the New York Jets, Jets. I'm taking the home team. I'm taking the Jets to win that game. Taking the Jets to protect the house. Then we have the New Orleans Saints going to Tampa to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. I'm taking the home team. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win that game. Who you got? Then we have the Seattle Seahawks going to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm rolling with the Seahawks. They are legit. That defense is legit. That defense travels from the great Northwest all the way to the South in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. I got the Seahawks winning that game. Who you got? Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens, who just got embarrassed in week 13 by the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers on the road in Baltimore taking on the Ravens. I'm going with the home team. I'm going for Lamar Jackson to have a bounce back game. I got the Baltimore Ravens winning that game. Sorry, Pittsburgh, you are pretenders. You're out of the playoff race. I got the Baltimore Ravens winning that game. Who you got? Then we have the Tennessee Titans going to Cleveland, take on the Cleveland Browns. I got the Cleveland Browns, the home team, winning that game. Then we have the Denver Broncos going to Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Going to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you got? I got the Denver Broncos winning that game over the Raiders. Sorry, Raider fans. Y'all are just not up to par. Then we have another huge game in week 14. We have the Chicago Bears going to Green Bay. This game is for first place in the division. The Chicago Bears going to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. Who you got? Man. I'm going to take the home team to win this game. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. Even though I've said all the nice stuff to the Chicago Bears. I've said all the nice stuff about Ben Johnson, the new head coach in Chicago. Caleb Williams, the running game, the receivers. I've said a lot of nice stuff about Chicago, but I'm taking the home team. I'm taking Green Bay to win that game. And I'm saying it with my chest. Who you got? I got the Packers. All right? Then we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. I got the Rams winning that game. The Rams going to bounce back from an embarrassing loss against Carolina last week. They're going to bounce back and get that win in Arizona. Got the Rams winning that game. Who you got? Then we have the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football. The whole world will be watching. There's nothing else on. Houston Texans going to Kansas City. Take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be a good game. And Houston, their defense is legit. But I'm rolling with my homeboy, Patrick Mahomes. This is a must-win game for Kansas City if they want to get back to the playoffs. This is a must-win game. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game. Who you got? And then Monday Night Football. We have another big game. Both teams are 8-4. The Philadelphia Eagles flying across country to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to take the Eagles to win this game. I'm going to take the road team. I believe the Eagles have something to prove. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game in Los Angeles against the Chargers on Monday Night Football. The world is watching. There's nothing else on. We are all watching that game. The Sunday night game is a good one. Houston versus Kansas City. And then Monday night, the Eagles and the Chargers. Week 14 is about to be lit. It's going to be on and popping. Get your popcorn ready. Can't wait. So there you have it. We did our recap of Week 13. And we made our predictions for Week 14. The 2025 NFL season is rolling along. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Season is almost done. We're getting there. Hopefully your team is in playoff contention. And we all have high hopes for our team. We want to see them win a Super Bowl. Even though my 49ers are 9-4, I still think they're pretenders, but that can change. This is a fluid situation. It's any given Sunday. Anything can change. So there you have it. Another week, another episode of the Certified Genius Podcast. Presented to you by Genius Minds. Remember, there's a genius in all of us. So find the genius within you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll send you free merch. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have hats, and we have wristbands. We got you. I believe you're a genius. If you're watching this right now, you are a genius. Yes, I said it, because I'm the certified genius. So we thank you for your support. And before I leave, let's talk a little NBA basketball. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a basketball coach. Basketball is what I eat, sleep, and shit. I just love being in the gym and studying the game of basketball and be able to teach and, give my advice and my input to anyone involved in the game of basketball. Right now, we have the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball. The Detroit Pistons are on top of the Eastern Conference. They are 17-5. The Detroit Pistons are off to a good start. In the West, in the Western Conference, we have the defending champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are 21-1. They just play the game the right way. They play hard. They play with intensity, but they play smart. And then you have a generational talent like Shea Gilchrist, SGA, Shea Gilchrist Alexander, that's averaging 30-something points a game. But the entire team, they play hard and they play smart. OKC Thunder is 21-1. And guess who's in second place? My Los Angeles Lakers. We are 15-5 in second place in the Western Conference. But it's still early in the season, so we're not going to get too in-depth. But that's where we at right now. The Pistons in the East and the Thunder in the West on top of the division. And my Lakers are in second place. Still early in the season. While we're on this basketball topic, I just saw a headline regarding Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. Sad situation. This is Chris Paul's last year in the NBA. And the Clippers decided to release him. I mean, we're only in December. Now, the Clippers are off to a very bad start. But to bring him in right now, to bring him in this season, and then release him in December just makes no sense to me at all. And I kind of saw the writing on the wall probably about a week or so ago when the Clippers played the Lakers. I was watching that game and I'm saying to myself, Chris Paul can't be happy because he's not getting any playing time. And as a point guard always feels like he can have an impact on the game, especially a true point guard like Chris Paul. So the fact that he wasn't getting any playing time, I mean, he barely played that game. And I'm watching that game. I'm saying to myself, Chris Paul, besides the fact that they have a losing record, I could tell he wasn't happy with the situation. So the Clippers organization, you all have to do better. It's ridiculous what you're doing to Chris Paul. And I still believe he can help your team win. So, Los Angeles Clippers, get it together. Get it right. Chris Paul, I hope you end up on a team that has a chance you know, to not only make the playoffs, but to make a run, for a championship. So choose your team wisely, Chris Paul. You're a free agent now. You can go to whatever team you want. This is your last year in the NBA. You've been in the NBA for over 20 years now. You're a Hall of Fame point guard. Find you a team that can use your services, use your skills, use your knowledge as a point guard that can help that team not only get to the playoffs, but have a chance to win a championship. So Chris Paul, I wish you the best. Los Angeles Clippers, this is why you're just a mediocre franchise. Unbelievable. So that's my NBA rant so far. It's like I said, it's very early in the season. I just saw another report that Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, he wants out. He wants out of Milwaukee. He wants to be in a championship contender, and I don't blame him. Milwaukee have a average roster and a mediocre coach in Doc Rivers. So if I was Giannis, I would want out too. You're not winning with that guy, with Doc Rivers as your head coach. You're just not. He's a mediocre coach. So yeah, there you have it. A little NBA for you. And that's the way the story goes. Another week, another episode of the Certified Genius Podcast. We thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. I'm Coach G. I'm your humble servant. I am your certified genius. We are live and direct every week of the 2025 NFL season, recapping week by week everything that transpired and make our predictions for the following week. So we thank you once again for being a part of this. Live and direct from the Genius Mind Studios in Los Angeles, California. We appreciate you. And we look forward for week 14 and for another episode of our Certified Genius Podcast. Thanks again. Until next time, stay safe and stay blessed. Peace and love.